Hello, hi, and Assalamu alaikum, students. I hope you all are fine and safe staying at home. I welcome you back to my English online YouTube class. So, today we shall discuss a very important topic, the direct and indirect speech. It's an important grammar in English. Without much ado, let's get started with the topic. So, let's see what is a narration. A narration is an act of reporting the words of speaker, that is, how you are presenting the way a person has spoken. There are two main ways of reporting the words of speaker. One, direct speech, and another one is indirect speech. Let's look into each of them in detail. What is a direct speech? The actual words of speaker are quoted as it is. The exact words of speaker are enclosed in quotation mark. Example, Yogesh is studying. When his friend John came, he asked, "What are you doing?" So for that, Yogesh replied, "I am studying." Now, if John wants to report what Yogesh said, then it will be like, Yogesh said, "I am studying." So this is the direct speech. I am studying is the actual words of Yogesh, which should be written in the quotation mark. Here, said is a reported verb and I am studying is the reported speech. Let's look into one more example. Now, Lucy wears a white color skirt and Rajiv asks Lucy, "Which colored skirt are you wearing?" For that, she replies, "I am wearing white skirt." So let's see how Rajiv reports the Lucy's statement. Lucy said, "I am wearing white skirt." This is the direct speech because here are given as it is inside the quotes. So hence no changes is given and this is direct speech. Let's see what is an indirect speech. So the actual words of the speaker are transformed and said or written in a simple language is used. Why we need it? So we need indirect speech to avoid confusion while using direct speech while reporting. Let's take an example for indirect speech. Let's see how we have to change a direct speech sentence into an indirect speech sentence. In direct speech, Yogesh said that I am studying. So this is the direct speech. The exact words of Yogesh is given in quotes. So when we convert it to indirect speech, it will be like Yogesh said that he was studying. So what do you identify in this sentence? Here the quotation mark is removed. Next, the change of tense is given. That is, I am studying, present continuous is changed to past continuous. And the use of conjunction that is used. So when we remove the quote, the conjunction that can be used. So again, let's compare this example. Lucy said, "I am wearing white skirt." So how we have to change direct speech into indirect speech? So here comes, Lucy said that she was wearing white skirt. So consider this example and compare the difference here. The quotation mark has been removed. Next, the change of tense is used. And the next one is conjunction that is used. So this is the fundamental difference between the direct speech and indirect speech. Students, I hope you are clear with the difference between direct and indirect speech. Now we shall see how to convert a direct speech sentence into an indirect speech sentence. So my dear students, let us proceed with the rules to be followed while converting a direct speech sentence into an indirect speech sentence. While changing a sentence from direct speech to indirect speech, tense will change. Like the simple present tense will change to simple past tense in the indirect speech. For example, I write poetry, she said. Here the verb write is a simple present tense which will change like wrote. He said that she wrote poetry. Here wrote is the simple past tense. So in the indirect speech, the present tense will change to simple past tense. Now let's see. Simple past will changes to past perfect in indirect sentence. Like, I saw the burglars leave, said Pankaj. Saw is the simple past which in turn changes to past perfect in indirect sentence like had seen. So saw is the simple past. It will change to had seen, which is past perfect tense. So students, you have to memorize these tense changes. The next one is present perfect, which will change to past perfect. For example, Ria said, where have they gone? Have gone is present perfect in direct speech, which in turn changes to past perfect in indirect speech like had gone. So the sentence will be Ria wondered where they had gone. So have gone, the present perfect has changed to past perfect had gone. The next one, present continuous, will change to past continuous in the indirect speech. In the sentence direct speech, let's see an example. I am doing my homework, said the girl. So am doing is the present continuous tense and it will change to was doing. The girl said that she was doing her homework. Here present continuous changes to past continuous in the indirect speech. Let's proceed with some more tenses. That is, past continuous tense changes to past perfect continuous tense. That is, we were living in Paris in those days, they said to me. So were living is the past continuous in the direct speech. How could you say that it is direct speech? Yes, it is enclosed with quotation marks. And when it changes to indirect speech, they told me that they had been living in Paris in those days. Here, had been living is the past perfect continuous tense. So were living past continuous changes to past perfect continuous tense. But past perfect remains past perfect and past perfect continuous remains the same past perfect continuous. Let's have an example. I had gone to visit my aunt, he explained. So here had gone in direct speech is the past perfect, which remains the same in the indirect speech. That is, had gone to visit his aunt. The same tense remains. No changes would be shown. Students, there are some exceptions while changing a direct speech into an indirect speech. So, do not change the tense of indirect speech if the reporting verb is in present tense, or if you see some words like say, says or will say, do not change the tense in the indirect speech. For example, Mr. Viru says the exam will be next week. Here says is the present tense. So in this case, you should not change the tense to past tense, because the sentence the exam will be next week, still the process is going on and it has not come to an end. Hence the answer will be Mr. Viru says that the exam will be next week. If the words within the quotation marks talk of a universal truth or habitual actions like the earth revolves around the sun, said the teacher. So here revolves is the present tense. Hence now, even now the earth revolves, it has not come to an end. Hence you should not change to past tense in the indirect speech. The same present tense has to be used in the indirect speech, like the teacher said that the earth revolves around the sun. And one more example for you. The boy said, I brush my teeth every day. So every day the habitual work carries out. So brush is a present tense. It should not change to brushed or something. Hence the boy said that he brushes his teeth every day. So present tense should not change in the indirect speech also. Now we shall see what are the changes are done in the modal verb from converting a sentence to direct speech to indirect speech. Modal verbs are nothing but modals or auxiliary verbs that express necessity or possibility. The modal verbs change from direct speech to indirect speech as given below. Will to would, can changes to could, may changes to might, and must changes to had to, shall or would will change to should in the reported questions. Students, there will be always some exceptions in changing modal verbs. So the following modal verbs like would, could, might, should, ought to, used to will remain same in the indirect sentence also. It will not be changed to some other modal verbs. So example for changing a modal verb, we will be there, he promised. Here will is the modal verb So will change to would in the indirect speech. He promised they would be there. I shall is the modal verb which will change to would. Therefore, I shall buy you a new dress in the direct speech will change to her mother said that she would buy her a new dress. Next, shall I open the box? She said. Shall will change to should in the indirect speech which comes like this. She asked if she should open the box. She said, I may buy a laptop. May will change to might. She might buy a laptop. The next one, must. I must work hard, which changes to had to. He said that he had to work hard. The next one, I can't remember your name, said Lisa. Lisa said that she couldn't remember my name. So, can't changes to could not. The next one, I would buy it if I had the money, he said. It changes to, he said he would buy it if he had the money. So, would remains the same word in the direct and indirect. Now, let's see what all the changes takes place in the pronouns from direct speech to the reported speech, that is indirect speech. Here, I will change to he or she, we changes to they, you changes to he, she, they, my changes to his or her, our changes to their, your changes to his, her or their, me changes to him or her, us changes to them, you changes to him, her, them, mine changes to his, hers, ours changes to theirs, yours changes to his, hers and theirs. Now let's see how the words changes to in respect to the place and time.
Today becomes that day.
Then, at that time,
tomorrow becomes the next day or the following day.
So, at once
yesterday
to
becomes
moment,
the day before or the
that,
previous day.
These, those,
next
here,
week or
there,
next morning
come,
changes
go,
to
week,
the following
week,
week or
today,
the following morning
tomorrow,
respectively.
The next or the following.
Last night
yesterday,
becomes
the,
the night before
the previous day,
and so on.
Next week, the following week. Last night, the night before.
So combining the application of the three types of changes, that is tenses, pronouns and other words indicating place and time, we have a few examples for you. The changes have been highlighted in different colors. I don't like this book, said John. In indirect speech, the sentence looks like, John said he did not like that book. We met in a party last week, said Myra. Myra said we had met in a party the week before. The interviewer said to the young man, we will let you know our decision by tomorrow. The interviewer told the young man that they would let him know their decision by the next day. Tom said, I must visit the doctor today. Tom said that he had to visit the doctor that day. So, that was reporting statements. For reporting questions, imperative sentences, exclamations, there are a few additional points that one needs to keep in mind. Let's discuss questions first. Questions in reported speech are not very different from reported statements. The tenses, pronouns, and other words change in the same way. The very important thing, though, is that once we tell the question to someone else, it isn't a question anymore. So we need to change the grammar to that of a normal positive sentence. For questions, the most common reporting verb is asked, though we can also use other verbs such as inquired, demanded, or wanted to know. About the word order, the word order in a reported question is the same as in a statement. The subject comes before the verb. Also, you do not use the helping verb do to form reported questions. Some examples are you ready? Asked her mother. Her mother wanted to know if she was ready. The old man said to the boy, where do you live? The old man asked the boy where he lived. Please note that we drop the auxiliary verb do in the indirect speech. She said to me, what are you doing? She asked me what I was doing. 3 points that I would like to highlight are: Notice that the reporting verb asked, just like the verb told, is mostly used with an indirect object in reported speech. Asked whom? Probably asked the boy or asked me. Second, we drop the question mark in indirect speech. And third, notice the word order. In indirect speech, the subject comes before the verb phrase. Like in the last example, I comes before the phrase was doing. Whereas in the original question, the subject is sandwiched between the auxiliary verb and the main verb. In the question, what are you doing? You comes between are and doing. To get more comfortable with reporting of questions, there is one more very effective tip that I would like to give you. There are two types of questions. The first type is a question to which the answer is yes or no. And the second type is a question which seeks some information. The first step for converting direct speech of a question is to decide its category out of these two. Thereafter, in a yes-no question which begins with an auxiliary verb, we use if or whether in indirect speech to introduce the clause containing paraphrase of the question. We may also use whether or not for this purpose. So consider the following example. Priya said, "Will you attend the party?" The indirect speech for this interrogative sentence looks like, Priya asked if I would attend the party. We can also say, Priya asked whether I would attend the party. As you would have noted, we use if, whether or whether or not as joining words. The other type, information questions, seek some information from the hearer and usually begin with a verb word such as what, when, where, etc. For such a question, no conjunction is used as the question word itself can be used as the joining word. As discussed earlier, the word order in indirect speech should be changed from that of a question to that of a proper sentence, which means subject should come before the verb phrase. Examples are, the stranger asked, "What time is it?" The stranger inquired what time it was. He asked his father, "Who was that man?" He asked his father who that man had been. Well, don't forget the other rules regarding tenses, pronouns and other words. The verb was would change to had been in indirect speech. Next is reporting of imperative sentences. Imperative sentences are used to give some advice or suggestion or to make a request or even to give a command or order. The subject is not mentioned in imperative sentences as it is understood to be the second person subject, you, mostly. Examples of imperative sentences are, open the door. It's an order or it could be a request depending on your tone. That is how you speak it. If you add a please, it becomes a little polite as in the sentence, please clean my room, which is clearly a request. Don't forget your bag is another example which is a suggestion or a warning. The only deviation from the second person subject is when the subject is first person, us. Such imperative sentences start with the word let. For instance, let's play football. Be nice to your brother and sister is another example. It's an advice. In fact, this imperative sentence can be rephrased as, you should be nice to your brother and sister, which conveys the same meaning. Typical reporting verbs used for imperatives are requested, entreated, advised, urged, forbade, ordered, directed, suggested, commanded, warned, called, etc. In commands and in requests for action or permission, we may use infinitives, which are constructed using to plus the simple form of the verb for reported speech. For instance, look at this man crying and saying, Please help me. He is making a request for action. The indirect speech for this sentence would be, the man requested or begged them to help him. The phrase to help in red ink is an infinitive phrase. Similarly, in commands, when you strictly tell someone to do or not to do something, let's suppose there is an instructor who says, do not cheat in exam. The indirect speech of this would be, the instructor warned the students not to cheat in the exam. Let's focus on the sentences where we give an advice, recommendation or suggestion. In reported speech, where the main verb is recommend or suggest, followed by a that clause, we use the subjunctive or base form of the verb. Alternatively, we can also use a gerund phrase. Did it sound French to you? Pay attention to the examples below to grasp the usage. Why don't you go to the doctor? He said. This might look like a question, but no, it's not a question. Quick check. Is the speaker seeking some information? No, definitely not. He is giving a suggestion. So in indirect speech, we would say, he suggested that I should go to the doctor. In this sentence, we can drop the word that or the word should or both, and the sentence would still be correct. So I can say, he suggested I go to the doctor. It's correct. Note that we used the that clause to join. Alternatively, we can say, he suggested going to the doctor, which is also a correct sentence and uses a gerund phrase starting with going. Second example is, take some rest, said the doctor. Indirect speech of this would be, the doctor recommended that she take some rest, which is the same as saying, the doctor recommended taking some rest. And the third example is, don't wait to apply for this job, said Anna. Indirect speech, Anna recommended that she not wait to apply for that job. Some more examples. Request first. Can I have the newspaper please? Said he. It's a request for an object. A short and crisp conversion into indirect speech would be, he asked for the newspaper. Will you carry the box for me? She asked. It's a request for action. It can be converted into indirect speech in two ways. She asked me if I would carry the box for her, or she asked me to carry the box for her. The second version uses an infinitive to carry. Jim said, can I make an appointment? It's a request for permission. Again, Jim asked if he could make an appointment, or Jim asked to make an appointment. Then there could be a negative request. For instance, please don't be late, said she. It gets converted into indirect speech as, she asked or requested us not to be late. There could be a command or suggestion. For instance, plan ahead, said my father. In indirect speech, it would look like, my father told me that I should plan ahead, or simply, my father told me to plan ahead. And the last one is, mom said, call me when you get home. In indirect speech, this imperative sentence would look like, mom said that we should call her when we get home, or mom said to call her when we get home. And the last category, indirect to indirect speech, is exclamatory sentences. Exclamatory sentences express a sudden outburst of some emotions such as joy, sorrow, contempt, regret, surprise, etc. In reported speech, the words or the sound used by the speaker to express an emotion is omitted. The exclamatory phrase or word, that is interjection, is replaced by expressions such as exclaimed with joy, sorrow, regret, surprise, contempt, etc. In particular, the interjections hurrah or ha, which reflect joy, would be expressed as exclaimed with joy, delight, or exclaimed joyfully. The interjections alas or oh, which reflect sorrow, regret, or loss, would be expressed as exclaimed with sorrow, grief, regret, or cried out. The interjections what, oh, how, which reflect surprise, would be expressed as exclaimed with surprise, wonder, astonishment. The interjection bravo, which reflects appreciation, would become applauded. The interjection pooh, which reflects contempt, would be expressed as exclaimed with contempt, and so on. Needless to say, the exclamation mark is also removed. Let's have some examples for the conversion of exclamatory sentences. The boy said, "Hurrah, we have won the match." The boy exclaimed with joy that they had won the match. "Wow, what a handsome man he is," said the girls. The girls exclaimed that he was a handsome man. Please note that apart from the interjection wow, we also removed the woe word. The old man said, "Alas, I have lost my purse." The old man exclaimed with sorrow that he had lost his purse. The child said, "What a beautiful sight." The child exclaimed with delight that it was a very beautiful sight. Or we can say, the child exclaimed with delight that the sight was very beautiful. So that completes the topic. Here is a mind map of direct-indirect speech that will help you build a mental picture of the topic. It covers the areas we should keep in mind while attempting a question on direct-indirect speech.
Now I hope you have understood the topic clearly. Now let's proceed with the assignment. So do complete your assignment quickly and send to my WhatsApp before 6 p.m. I hope you have understood this topic very well. Thanks for watching. Assalamu alaikum.